Just a few miles from Manhattan's skyscrapers, nestled on the west end of Long Island, is Belmont, New York, and a patch of real estate steeped in history, Belmont Park. It is known as the championship track, as its 12 furlongs can be conquered only by an awesome combination of speed and stamina, regardless of Triple Crown aspirations. A mile-and-a-half endurance test that could be called horse racing's version of the New York Marathon. There will be no Triple Crown winner this year, but after two grueling stakes races in the last month, the third jewel of the Triple Crown offers a purse and a prestige just as magnificent and enduring. Can Lemke duplicate the magic of Derby Day? Will Beach Carrot pass the test of champions as only 3 fillies have ever done before? Will supply and demand break through after 2 top 3 finishes? Or will another 3-year-old be draped with the blanket of white carnations? Who will hoist the August Belmont Trophy? For Chris Lewis's Google Sheets-based horse racing simulation dynasty fantasy league, this is the Belmont Stakes. And we welcome you to Belmont Park here in Elmont, New York. Conditions are perfect for the third jewel of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes. Alongside Chris Lewis, we welcome you. Crowd is psyched. How are we looking, Chris?
Well, yeah, it's good to see you again, Jimmy, and it's good to be here. Excited for Belmont Day. First, I want to apologize for the delay. That was a little bit slower announcing the entries this week. Kaylin and I were lucky enough to go on a cruise, and we actually saw horses on the cruise, but we didn't get pictures of that. We were lucky enough to get pictures of our experience meeting capuchin monkeys. But now the vacation's over. We had a great time. That's enough monkeying around. How about back to horse racing? So the top story is that there's no Triple Crown winner this year. But as Jimmy alluded to in the intro, the Belmont Stakes is just as much money and just as much prestige, and it can really catapult a stable to the top of the standings. So who are the favorites? Well, the usual suspects. You got Beach Carrot, the Preakness winner, grade A horse. Also Runt, the Kentucky Oaks winner. And this, as Jimmy also alluded to, is a 12 furlong absolute marathon, but Runt actually likes the distance. Of course, also Intention, the grade B horse, who has sort of been a underperforming horse so far. And then the grade C horse in the field is from Jesse's stable, Supply and Demand, who finished 3rd in the Kentucky Derby and 2nd in the Preakness, is always a horse to watch. I got some other notes from the Belmont. How about a couple sneaky tacticians? So 2 weeks ago was the Preakness. 2 weeks before that was the Kentucky Derby, and these 3-year-olds are being asked to run back to back to back, and they're tired. But there's 3 horses in the field that have 0 fatigue, absolutely no fatigue. And that's Ampersand from Nate's stable, Albie from Nate's stable, and Roulette from Zach's stable. They just sat back and let the other horses wear themselves out, and they're going to try to strike now. Another note is a couple stables taking a shotgun approach. Nate has 5 entries in the Belmont, throwing it against the wall and going to see what sticks. And Brett has 3 entries. I mentioned all 3 of them in the last slide. All right, so here's the full Belmont field. I talked about Beach Carrot and Intention. You can see Nate's 5 horses there, including, of course, Lemke, the Kentucky Derby winner. Good field, 14 horses. Most of them are pretty worn out, but we got a lot on the line in the Belmont. Also, today is the Met Mile. This portion of the calendar has been all about the 3-year-olds with the Kentucky Oaks, Kentucky Derby, Preakness. and the Belmont. We haven't had a stakes race open to horses 4 and up since the first day, but we do now, and it's the Met Mile. Oh, there you go. So who are the favorites in that one? Well, you got to start with the 2 Grade A horses, Portugal the Fast, who is the Saudi Cup winner, and Jimmy's horse, Apology Accepted. I will note that their fatigue level right now, Portugal the Fast has raced more recently, and Apology Accepted has the edge there, perhaps enough to make her the favorite. I was able to score an exclusive interview for today's broadcast also. I was lucky enough to find out he was available. Jimmy.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah. So, to be fair to Apology Accepted, she's only had one chance to even enter a stakes race so far. But I will point out that she's the only race-eligible Grade A horse that doesn't have a stakes win yet. I just called her perhaps the favorite in the Met Mile. How do you feel about her chances today?
I feel good. I do feel like she's the favorite. She's just a great horse, champion horse. You know, only raced 3 times, won twice, showed the other. And yeah, I'm really confident. And you know, we'll see what happens. Also got Peterberg in there, trying to get up there as well. But obviously Portugal the Fast, very worthy adversary, and some other good horses in the field as well. Big field. But yeah, feeling very confident about Apology Accepted taking home the prize.
Great, thanks you. Thanks for making time to speak with us today too. Good luck.
Absolutely.
All right, here's the full Met Mile field. It's absolutely loaded. It's a huge field, and it's absolutely loaded with talent. The 2 Grade A horses. There's also multiple Grade B and multiple Grade C horses, and they're not as tired as all the 3-year-olds in the Belmont. So, huge field and loaded with talent. All right, a little bit more before we move on to the races. Thereupon I Linger last week joined Runt in the 3-win club. I want to point out how they've done it because it's interesting. Runt's first win was on day 1 in a claiming race for Johnny. Then day 3 was a claiming race, and day 5 was the Kentucky Oaks big stakes win. Thereupon I Linger, and of course the Kentucky Oaks win was for Brett. Thereupon I Linger has gone back to back to back, day 4, day 5, and day 6, which is out of this world. Those were, the first one was for Christian in a claiming race, and then the next 2 for Andrew in a claiming race and a claiming race. They've taken advantage of the small fields and the whatever talent has entered the claiming races. And it's just interesting that neither one of them has won an allowance race yet. 5 claiming races and a stakes race for those 2 are only 3-win horses so far. All right, standings update. After day 4, the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks, we saw Nate and Brett shoot up the board. And after the Preakness, day 5, this is the current standings on the far right. Brett has moved into first, and with a pretty good margin over second place, actually. Because it wasn't just the Preakness win, it's the Kentucky Oaks win, and I think it was second place in the Kentucky Derby and 3rd place in the Preakness. And it's just been a good stretch of the calendar for him. Oh, yes, and I also wanted to talk about Jesse's stable. I talked about it at the end of the last broadcast. But she's got 0 wins, but really solid finishes in the biggest races of the year so far. 2nd in the Saudi Cup, 3rd in the Belmont, and 2nd in the, 3rd in the Kentucky Derby, 2nd in the Preakness. Looks like the stable owners are on hand. All right, everyone's favorite segment. We used to call it a new Jimmy segment. Now we call it a Jimmy segment.
There it is.
Dark Horse Detective.
All right, thank you, Chris. I might need to go a little deeper with these dark horses since I think the last few have been talked about before I even get to them. But regardless, my dark horse today is Runt, the D-grade horse in the Belmont Stakes. One of the D-grade horses, obviously Beach Carrot, Intention, supply and demand, all with an A, B, and C grade, but Runt, one of the few in all of the stables with the 12 furlongs as the ideal distance. So as is with the Belmont, most horses can't last that long. We shall see though. I'm going with Runt. It's proven to be a champion, 4 races, 3 victories, and yeah, going with Runt as my dark horse.
Great, Jimmy.
I will say,
Yeah.
I will add supply and demand was almost, that was a tough one. I think supply and demand's going to be there in the end, but Runt is my pick.
Great, Jimmy. And I say, hey, great dark horse pick. And the fact that I also talked about her just means maybe great minds think alike. We're also getting word from Brett himself, the owner of Beach Current Intention and Runt, that Runt is his prediction too.
Nice.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. How about we
All right.
go to the track? Let's look at race number 1, Jimmy.
All right, we are ready for some racing here at Belmont Park. As we approach the Test of Champions, we'll start with race 1, $35,000 purse for the horses, 6-horse field, and got some I's and J's looking for their first wins, all 6 looking for their first wins of the year.
Yeah, Jimmy, none of them really particularly stick out to me. You'd say that the 4 I grade horses are the favorites. Andrew with 2 horses in the race. Let's let them decide it on the track.
Yeah, let's go out there and see how we do. Again, 6 horses, our first race of the day here at Belmont. Conditions are perfect. The crowd is ready. The jockeys are on the horse and they're off. All I Could Afford out in front. Bite Size in second, followed by Junior Bacon, Ichigo, Bear Patrol, and Body Surfer bringing up the rear. Bite Size now in the lead, half a length over All I Can Afford, building that lead as we approach the halfway point. In the back stretch, Bite Size still in the lead, Body Surfer and All I Could Afford in second. Past the halfway point, Bite Size getting caught by All I Can Afford coming up close. Bite Size still in the lead though. All I Can Afford, Junior Bacon, Ichigo, Body Surfer, and Bear Patrol. As we come around the last turn, it's still Bite Size in the lead, close to a half-length lead. Three or four horses, everybody trying to close fast, but Bite Size with a big lead. All I Could Afford coming strong, though, and it's going to be Bite Size with the win. All I Could Afford in second, Junior Bacon in third, followed by Ichigo, Body Surfer, and Bear Patrol. Congrats to Bite Size, the only unowned horse in the race.
Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, Bite Size pretty convincing for most of the race there. Had the lead, All I Could Afford close towards the end. And I hate to see the only unowned horse get the win. I like to see the stable owners win, but it is what it is. Bite Size with the win. All right, Jimmy, how about race number 2?
All right, let's check it out here. Just a 6.5 furlong race. It's going to be a short one. 7 horses. Winter Wonderland and That Girl from School already with wins in the Fantasy League. And yeah, 5 F-grade horses. So looking like could have a close race here.
Yeah, and you missed Second Gen Stacker also has a win as an F-grade horse.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 7 horses. Macy's got 2. Nate's got 2. Here we go.
All right, back out to the track. As we said, just 6.5 furlongs for the second race of the day. And they're off. Unsubscribe, Second Gen Stacker with the early lead, followed by Winter Wonderland, That Girl from School, Television Static, Coach Cleaver, and Phenom. Television Static in the lead, now Unsubscribe, trying to build a lead as we go around the back stretch. Television Static in second, Coach Cleaver now in third, Winter Wonderland coming up into fourth. Past the halfway point, Unsubscribe and Television Static, Coach Cleaver. It's a close one, as expected. Television Static now in the lead. All the horses are in it though right now as we come around the final turn. Down the stretch they come. Television Static still in the lead. Winter Wonderland closing strong. It's going to be a close one. Television Static and Winter Wonderland, both owned by Nate. Second Gen Stacker closing fast. Phenom also closing. It's going to be a photo finish. And it's Television Static with the win. By a nose over Second Gen Stacker, followed by Winter Wonderland, That Girl from School, Unsubscribe, Phenom, and Coach Cleaver. Nate with the first and third place horses in this second race.
Jimmy, how about Second Gen Stacker almost making that pass at the end? Did you see that?
Unbelievable.
Look at the it like
Just,
it,
making the photo finish there for sure.
Here it glitched like it was going to pass, but then no cigar.
Yeah, that one of the closer finishes we've had for sure.
Yes, and it looks like I'll go ahead and announce now that we should all welcome Charlie. Walt, he's going to take over Walt's stable for the rest of this season. The plan is that Walt will take back over in the off season, but he's on the broadcast today, and looks like he's a Second Gen Stacker fan. If you go to the chat, she comes.
Nice.
He said she comes from a long line of stackers.
Awesome.
Charlie threw up for dinner.
Okay. All right. Welcome again, Charlie. Great to have you here.
Yeah, Charlie, welcome.
Thanks
for filling in.
My pleasure.
All right, race number 3 is another relative sprint, Jimmy.
All right. Yep. $65,000 purse. Just the boys here in this one, all male race, 7 horses. And yeah, looks like it's going to be another close one. 5 E horses, an F and a G.
Yeah,
Standard
and
bearer, as you know, with the single win amongst the field.
yeah, and that's what I was going to point out too. It's the single win, but it's also only his second race. He's undefeated with just the one win. But yeah, there's certainly lots of competition with the 4 other E grade horses.
Absolutely.
You know, we should have highlighted maybe Nate with the win in the second. Nate's in second place in the standings overall, and I think you make up big chunks by winning big races, but coming in first and third doesn't hurt him in the standings.
Absolutely.
All right, race 3.
Looks like the horses are ready for race number 3, and they're off. Gadsden Tide, Hippie DNA, Bad Communicator out in front first, followed by Fly By Night, Getting Out of Hand, Standard Bearer, and Rusty's Revenge. Hippie DNA, Fly By Night, a half length ahead. Bad Communicator closing. So we go down the backstretch, Fly By Night in the lead. Hippie DNA, Bad Communicator, Standard Bearer trying to make it close, but it's still Fly By Night with a half length lead. Standard Bearer, Bad Communicator in second. Standard Bearer now making a move. Coming up on Fly By Night as we come down the stretch. Fly By Night, Standard Bearer neck and neck. Bad Communicator and others trying to make it run. Right now it's dead even. Standard Bearer and Fly By Night. As we come toward the finish, it's Standard Bearer. Rusty's Revenge with the charge at the end to make it a photo finish, but it's Standard Bearer with the win for Christian. Rusty's Revenge in second, followed by Bad Communicator, Gadsden Tide, Fly By Night, Hippie DNA, and Getting Out of Hand. Again, congratulations, Standard Bearer and Christian.
Yes, congrats to Christian. And an undefeated horse with 2 wins, and it sounds like Standard Bearer is a fan favorite too. It might help that
got those family ties going, huh?
Those cheering are related to Christian, but they might also just be special fans of the name Standard Bearer.
Yes.
Charlie has served as a Standard Bearer in professional golf tournaments.
Ah, yes.
Around the country.
So there's a win for Standard Bearer. And
awesome.
Zach, I don't like to point this out. Zach doesn't have a win yet on the season, and this was so close. This was so close to his first
What a
win.
charge there at the end.
Yeah, Rusty's
Faked
Revenge.
this out. Yeah, faked this out a little bit, just like the last race.
Yeah, that's right.
Another photo finish.
So Zach's still searching for his first win, but second's not bad.
Absolutely. Still gets some money from the purse, of course. On to the next one. We've got 6 unowned horses in our first claiming race of the day.
Race number
Yeah.
4. It's on the turf, Jimmy. I don't. It's just unowned horses, so no one to really focus on. I guess you'd say the favorite is Robotron Ride 3000, who is the only one out of any of these 6 that has ever finished in the top 3, and is one of the 3 grade F horses.
Nice. Looking for some excitement. All these horses looking for their first win, place, or show, except for the one, as you said, Robotron Ride 3000. And it looks like they're about ready. And they're off. Stalwart Persuader, Step Down, Crustacean Team Name, out to the early lead, followed by Persnickety, Robotron Ride 3000, and Regular But Friday. Step Down now stepping up into the lead. Crustacean Name not far behind. Stalwart Persuader in third. Robotron Ride 3000 charging up now into third. Crustacean Team Name in the lead as we pass the halfway point. Step Down still in second. Stalwart Persuader right behind and now into second. Charging fast toward the leader. And Stalwart Persuader now taking the lead. Charging fast. Step Down now into second. Crustacean Team Name down into fourth. Stalwart Persuader building a lead, almost half a length as we approach the finish. Persnickety has made their way up into second, but it's going to be Stalwart Persuader with the win. Persnickety in second. Robotron Ride 3000 charging into third. Regular But Friday in fourth. Step Down in fifth. And then Crustacean Team Name. Congratulations, Stalwart Persuader on their first win.
Yes, thanks, Jimmy. And as you mentioned, it was a claiming race. There was one claim, and it was the winner. Stalwart Persuader was claimed by Walt, which that's the stable Charlie's taken over for. So, Charlie,
There you go.
Congrats on adding Stalwart Persuader.
Charlie taking home a winner.
Love that jockey.
There we go.
All right. Race number 5. We only got 8.
Cousin Colleen on the broadcast too here.
That was her.
They're
Awesome.
a package deal.
Awesome. Good to have you.
All right, let's look at race number 5.
All right, halfway through the slate here at Belmont. 10.5 furlongs on the dirt. And we've got a triad of E-grade horses, Business Savvy, El Brainiac, In and Outlaw. One of my favorite names there, I must say, In and Outlaw. And
Thank you.
Business Savvy with the only win, but if it's anything like these other races, we should have a good one here.
Yeah, and the 3 E-grade horses are the favorite. And like you said, Business Savvy with first and second place finishes already. Probably one you'd have to call the favorite.
And Charlie Stable with 2 horses in this race after claiming the winner in the last one.
That's right.
Looks like they're ready to go. Just 6 horses, small field, and they're off. The Velocitizer, the Empress, they're in cahoots, out to the early lead. Coming around the first turn, El Brainiac now charging up into second. Business Savvy and an Outlaw bringing up the rear. Velocitizer still in the lead. El Brainiac in second. In and Outlaw now up to third. They're in cahoots in fourth. It's the Velocitizer and El Brainiac up front as we come around the third turn. El Brainiac now in the lead. No, it's El Velocitizer. In and Outlaw. We've got a 3-horse race as we come around the final turn. Velocitizer trying to gain the lead. In and Outlaw in second. Business Savvy trying to gain some ground. El Brainiac in third now coming up towards the Velocitizer, and it's going to be a close one as down the stretch they come. El Brainiac takes the lead and is charging hard toward the finish, and it's El Brainiac, the winner, owned by Macy. The Velocitizer in second, followed by In and Outlaw, Business Savvy, they're in cahoots, and the Empress. What a charge there at the end by El Brainiac.
Boo.
Yeah. Yeah. Congrats to Macy. Yeah, that was Charlie's first chance getting to see the stable that he's taken over for Walt / Charlie's horses. Charlie, perhaps things will change, but Walt finishing in second place is certainly something we've seen a whole bunch, isn't it, folks? I'll go to
the trend definitely continues.
In fact, well, let's look while we're at it here. Let's look at the standings. Walt is down in 8th place, but has the most top 3 finishes. And if you look, he finally got his first win last time, but 9, that was now the 10th second place finish,
I was gonna
and
say, I
4
knew it was-
third place finishes. Yeah, always right there.
Nice.
It's due to the great stable management. Also, we have great vet program, and the nutrition is really top notch.
Good, yeah, very good. All
Nice.
right, 3 to go. We got race 6, and then we got the stakes races, Jimmy.
All right. Our second claiming race of the day. 70,000 will get you one of these 6 wonderful horses. Bryce's Fester, definitely the favorite here, owned by Nate, looking for another win and hoping to stay atop the standings, or close to the top, I should say.
Sure. Yep. Second. Yeah. The real clear favorite, and I think Bryce's Fester might be a little disappointed with his finishes in the. I think he was in. Well, Nate could probably tell us, but I think he was in the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. But certainly the clear favorite here, at least two grades over we used to stomp. Of course, the claim price is a pretty penny, 70 grand. But we'll see.
Sure. As Nate reminded us, actually just in the Preakness, but finished last in that
Okay.
race.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Jimmy. All right.
Rob,
So,
let's head out to the track.
on the turf.
On the turf here, 6 horses. Anticipation building. And we're off. Bryce's Fester and Database. Nowadays, Gefilte Fish all out front early. Database, Buttons, and Zips in that. Also in the field, Nowadays, now in the lead. Building a lead now, half a length over Bryce's Fester. As we're in the backstretch, we used to stomp in third, Buttons and Zips in that, Gefilte Fish and Database. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Nowadays, building a huge lead right now. Bryce's Fester falling back into 4th. Buttons and Zips in that. Gefilte Fish trying to get into 2nd. Nowadays, but with a big lead. Database with a big charge. But it's still Nowadays as we come down the stretch. Bryce's Fester makes a charge into the lead. As we come towards the finish, it's Bryce's Fester with the kick and the win. What a comeback there by Bryce's Fester. Starting slow, but finishing strong for Nate. We used to stomp in 2nd, followed by Database. Nowadays, Buttons and Zips in that, and Gefilte Fish. It didn't look good there for a bit for Bryce's Fester, but what a finish.
Indeed, a great finish. And well, we're adding to the intrigue of the 1st and 2nd place stables with Brett in 1st and his horse Nowadays in 1st for much of that race before Nate and Bryce's Fester got the win.
Absolutely. Any of these, did we get any of these claimed, Chris?
We did. Just Bryce's Fester was claimed by Casey.
Wow, another 1st place claim.
Yeah, so that's $70,000 that will go to Nate in exchange for that. Brett points out that that's his 3rd, 4th place finish of the day.
Ooh.
I think he's really got his eyes on the Belmont, though.
Yes, as most of us do.
I'm excited about this one, though. The Met Mile, huge field, loaded field, 17 horses, big money, 200 grand, Jimmy.
Absolutely. I'm very excited as well. As we mentioned, Apology Accepted in there as a favorite, along with Portugal the Fast, 2 grade A champions facing off. But as we said, don't count out the other horses. We don't say that. Quicksilver, got some C horses in there as well. And we have seen D horses win races like this too. So wide open field, 17 horses. We're just about ready as we head out to the track. And they're off. There's a lot of horses there out front as we start, but it's a short one. So it's LMNOP out to an early lead. Apology Accepted right on his tail. Enchantment in 3rd. Apology Accepted now in the lead. As we go to the back, down the back stretch, Phantom Ring into 2nd. We don't say that now into 2nd. Catching Apology Accepted and passing him as we go past the halfway point. We don't say that with more than a length lead over Apology Accepted. Enchantment also in 3rd. Phantom Ring now into 3rd. Apology Accepted now back into the lead. We don't say that in 2nd. Quicksilver into 3rd. Pocket Aces in 4th. We don't say that. Takes over the lead. And down the stretch they come. We don't say that. Charging and leaving everyone in the dust as they win the Met Mile. Apology accepted. And Embellishment with a photo finish for second. It's going to be Apology accepted in second. Embellishment in third, followed by Portugal the Fast, Quicksilver, Element OP, Phantom Ring, Enchantment for Old Time's Sake, Good Authority, Off to Neverland, Sugar Bomb, Torrential Downpour, Seat Back and Tray Table, Pocket Aces, Squibbler, and my boy, Peterberg, bringing up the rear. Congrats to Casey, and we don't say that on the huge win in the Met Mile.
Yeah, we don't say that really turned it on and yeah, made it convincing at the end there. Let's look at the margin of victory again here.
Unbelievable finish by We
And
Don't
it was-
Say That.
and it
Just
was-
leaving everyone in the dust.
It was close until it wasn't.
Absolutely.
And then, Embellishment has upsetted grade A Beach Carrot before, and she made a run at second place here and did beat Portugal the Fast, but was third behind Apology Accepted. All right. The
Nice.
greatest.
I think that was one of the bigger margins of victory, I think, there at the
It
end
was-
by We Don't Say That
It was
so
pretty
far this
convincing.
season.
Great performance by We Don't Say That for Casey. All right. The biggest honor in HRFL for a horse is you get a stakes win and you get a memorialized with a photo introducing We Don't Say That, Dark Palomino,
Congratulations.
Met Mile winner.
Nicely done. Congrats again to Casey on the win. But we've got one more race. The Test of Champions, the Belmont Stakes. Everybody on their feet
The
here at
marquee
Belmont
event.
Park. The marquee event, absolutely.
It is the marquee event. 12 furlongs, some tired horses. Brett, who's got a pretty convincing first place lead, although Nate's cut into it a little bit, I think, today, with several favorites.
For sure, and definitely a chance for both of them to maybe even take a big lead in the standings. As we said, Nate's got 5 horses here in the stakes. Brett's got 3.
Yeah, and we also should mention, or we did mention that with a purse this size, it's the same amount as in the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. Other stables that are lower in the standings could shoot up close to Brett and Nate and Andrew up in the front, or at least certainly Nate and Andrew if they could get a win in the Belmont.
Absolutely. Let's go out to the track, see who will hoist the August Belmont Trophy and pass the Test of Champions here. As we said, 12 furlongs for glory. And they're off. Lemke out to the early lead, followed by Disnelodian, Oh Showtime, Runt, Wind-Up Delivery, Albion up into third. It's got all four of his 5 horses up in the front. Lemke trying to take a big lead, but Wind-Up Delivery and Roulette not far behind. We're at the halfway point. Lemke with a big lead over Albie. Beast Carrot in fourth. Roulette up into third. Runt now into fourth. But Lemke with a huge lead as we go around the final turn. Roulette in second. Albie and Macaroni and Cheese in third and fourth. But it looks like it's going to be Lemke by almost 2 lengths. Beast Carrot trying to close fast, but it's Lemke with the win. Nate and Lemke with the win. Beach Carrot not far behind in second, followed by She Rode Sassy with a great kick at the end. Albie in fourth, Intention in fifth, followed by Macaroni and Cheese, Roulette, Runt, Wind-Up Delivery, Oh Showtime, Supply and Demand, Ampersand, Dismelodian, and Spothead. Nate with the big win. Also, Albie in fourth, Macaroni and Cheese in sixth. Congratulations again, Nate. Lemke, winner of 2 of the 3 Triple Crown races.
Lemke did it again.
Unbelievable.
The Kentucky Derby winner, which it was a big upset then, got the big upset again. Look at this lead. And then Beach Carrot did try to close, as Lemke may have been running out of gas, but too big of a gap.
Never did. Yep, never did run out of gas.
Never did. And then you got
Unbelievable. Repeating the magic from the Kentucky Derby.
Beach Carrot in second. She's never finished worse than second. And She Rode Sassy with the top 3 finish. How about this portion of the race? When Nate had
Top 4
the
there.
top 4. Yeah.
about that part.
Okay, Kaylin, what's your analysis here?
No, I want to talk about where wind-up delivery was in second place briefly.
Okay,
Keep going
back.
that way. No,
Okay.
yeah, just talk about that.
Yeah, this was a good start for wind-up delivery. Positioned herself coming out of the second turn to be competitive. Didn't work out in the long run.
For the short run.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about Runt. Kind of didn't put it together today. Finished in 8th place. Intention 5th. Supply and demand, there was a lot of talk about him too. Finished towards the bottom. And then
Yeah, a bit
Spothead.
disappointing
And
there.
we're actually getting word that Spothead narrowly avoided injuries. So the slow finish is maybe not so bad.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Avoiding injury, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Somewhat
not
bittersweet there. Yeah.
not great for Spothead. But all right, congrats to Nate. Congrats to Lemke again. I don't need to find a new photo because we've already seen Lemke.
Absolutely.
And actually,
Congratulations.
we'll go to the Hall of Stakes winners, which hasn't been updated, but you'll see Lemke there. We'll add 2024 Belmont Stakes champion to this page. All right, should we update the standings, Jimmy?
Let's do it. After Lemke passes the Test of Champions, draped with the white carnations in the winner's circle here at Belmont. As we mentioned before, Brett and Nate fighting for that top spot in the standings,
And there you go. Nate's moved into first.
taking over the lead, nearly $2 million in winnings so far this season. Brett right behind him with over 1.8.
Yeah, and Casey got the Met Mile win, and that is a shot in the arm. Moves him. I think he was already in 10th. He spent $70,000 on Bryce's Fester, but he might be and to add a grade D horse 3-year-old like Bryce's Fester plus to win the Met Mile. It's a big day for Casey too.
For sure. But yeah, Nate not only leading in money, but leading in wins with 9.
That's right.
2 wins more than Johnny there with 7. Andrew and Christian with 6. But a huge day for Nate and his stable.
All right, Jimmy, I want to look ahead just a little bit before we sign off.
For sure.
Charlie will take over Walt's stable 100% effective tomorrow, and we'll look forward to that. Well, we've had after the Preakness, we were a third of the way through the season. Now after the Belmont, we're done with the Triple Crown portion of the calendar, but there's still some racing left. We'll return to the humble Lewis Downs for a few weeks. The next stakes races will be the first ever at Lewis Downs with the Sprint Championships on day 12. Yeah, but what a fun and exciting Triple Crown portion of the calendar we had.
Absolutely. Very exciting. Great races. Great champion horses on display. And yeah, looking forward to getting back to Lewis Downs and tuning up for a couple races before that first Lewis Sprint Championships in late June.
Yes. All right. Thanks everyone for joining. For Jimmy, signing off.